You know what I mean? It's like you're the reason. It's not about like whether you like a particular show or a particular actor. It has nothing to do with that. It's not subjective, right? Inevitably go after criminalizing existing interracial marriages. I mean, that's not so far in American history where that has happened. So I don't think he just gives a shit because he's really rich and really powerful. So I don't think they could touch him. So he doesn't give a shit from that perspective. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's watch this. Let's watch people not getting the point of the Hollywood strike.
So SAG actors are going on strike. What does that mean? My name is Luke Cook. I'm an actor from The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Katie Keene, Dynasty, Dollface, and I am not a
I have zero clue who this man is, by the way. I have not seen a single one of these things that he's
millionaire. I drive a 2010 Mazda S3. My previous car was a 2006 Ford Taurus. 95% of the actors in SAG cannot make a living from acting. They've got to have side hustles, etc. I am one of those actors. So the actors that you're thinking of who are the millionaires are usually series regulars or big A-listers in big movies. The actors who surround them, though, are actors like myself, guest stars, co-stars, etc. And we're paid chips. I'll give you an example. I did a show called Dollface last year. They put me on a billboard on Sunset. Do you know how much they paid me to be on the billboard? $0. The amount that they paid me to be in the show was not much better. So I live in Los Angeles and I have 2 kids. I got paid per episode, which is 2 weeks of work, $7,500. Then it's taxed. Then a manager takes 10%, an agent takes 10%, and a lawyer takes.
This is one aspect of the entertainment industry that goes unnoticed because of the, the lip quivering numbers that are discussed oftentimes with respect to like wages, salaries, and whatnot, in comparison to the average individual. But one other part of the story always is that like most people's compensation structure also revolves around getting taxed on a number that you're not even receiving in your pocket, because there's also there's the instability, obviously, because you're rushing from contract to contract, but then also on top of that, there is the reality where, like, in certain circumstances, you're literally paying taxes on a number but you're paying out your manager off of that number. But again, this is not like $14,000 a month. This is a one-time contract for those of you who are failing to see. $14,000 a month is great pay. It's incredible pay for even Los Angeles. I think you could definitely make ends meet even with children, right? However, and live a very comfortable life, as a matter of fact, especially if you've made like an investment into a house early on, yada, yada, yada. But it's not $14,000 a month. It's $14,000 for the contract that you have, that's it. That might be the only time you work that year, which is part of the reason why a lot of people end up getting second jobs for stability.
It takes 5%. Now, I am one rung below a series regular who is making maybe $100,000 sometimes per episode. They're very wealthy and they're worth it too. They're usually very talented people. A huge portion of this strike is about people like me who need to be paid more for the work that they do, and let them have a portion of the profits that these streamers and these big companies are bringing in. So this discussion is not about millionaires. As I said, 95% of the union can't make enough money to live by...
Yeah, good luck explaining that to a guy who, in most circumstances, doesn't realize that he's in a similar boat and thinks your job is fucking awesome. Oh, whatever, fuck you. You're an actor. At the end of the day, you're on camera. I'd love to have your job. It's like, doesn't matter. He is a part of a machine that is generating value upwards, generating value for someone else. And when actors or any kind of labor union in any sector demands better pay or better earnings or residuals or a different component, it's always the value that they're generating. Are they really worth it though? Are those big name stars really that much better at their jobs, or is it just a classic? The diva gets what she wants, and the chorus gets the line, then the chorus line gets the scraps. I mean, I'll tell it to you like this, my friend. It's gonna sound silly. It's gonna sound stupid. Especially because a lot of people look at like what I do and go, dude, it's the easiest job on the planet, and in many respects, it is. But let me tell you something. Try to act. Put a fucking camera on yourself and try to do a scene. And you will understand how unimaginably difficult it is. At least for me. I can't do it. I'm on camera 24/7 pretty much, okay? I can't do it. Luck plays a genuine, obviously a super, super genuine part of it, right? Because that's how it works. It always works that way. Luck is a big part of every process. What family you're born into, what your finances are, they play a significant role. For that reason, I think that Hollywood has always been pretty nepotistic and has become even more nepotistic in the past decade or so, when you got the actors who like got on a bus from Kansas and then started working at a cafe, got noticed, became famous, but now their children don't have to do that. Their children are also getting into acting. Much easier for actors. Much easier for someone to become an actor if they don't have to fucking make ends meet on the side. They don't have to like work at a cafe, work as a waiter, and have all of those things covered. You know what I mean? The same thing with sports. Sure, there are a few people who are overpaid, but the stars get paid the big bucks for a reason. They're skilled enough to carry the team. In many respects, these guys are paid the big bucks because someone who is very interested in paying them as little as possible has made the calculation that putting that person in that position is going to put asses in seats, is going to drive ticket sales. That's it. Does anyone here believe that a company is going to literally fucking overpay for someone, a worker? No shot. There's always a reason. There's always a reason. Obviously, you can have like shitty accounting or some other kind of corruption going on behind the scenes. But in most normal circumstances, if Hollywood is choosing to pay someone a certain amount, that means they're getting more of that in return. I mean, there is no greater indication of this. There is no greater representation of what I'm saying than the fact that Hollywood studios now just want to take a fucking photo of your face and just artificially recreate you for television shows and movies in perpetuity after paying you one day's work. So remember that. Like, they want to pay you for one day's of work, and then they want to own your face and likeness for the rest of your life and even beyond that. So, been watching Black Mirror, I see. Yeah, it's funny you say that because I did watch that Black Mirror episode, but it's even funnier that now Netflix, Ted Sarandos, David Zaslav, and numerous other CEOs quite literally put a contract stipulation in front of SAG-AFTRA that directly does what you saw in that motherfucking Black Mirror episode. So it's not even a joke. It's not even like an unimaginable thing. Someone wrote about it, Netflix released it, and then Netflix quite literally said, oh, actually, this psychotic dystopian future that we promoted, we want to do that to you. So that is part of the reason. That's part of the reason why they are having this conversation, this back and forth, and that's partially why they are pushing back.
Just doing this job. Now, your favorite actor probably won't be too affected by this deal. Whatever the deal ends up being, they'll just continue to get paid a whole lot of money. But everybody else who surrounds them, who enables them to play the roles that they get to play, who play the smaller roles that surround them, are asking for a better payday. And as someone who's a battler, and I always have a side job, I think it'd be great to get paid money to be in your favorite shows. That just seems fair to me. Like, if you see...
Yeah, I think everyone that talks about this, like all the actors, everyone that talks about this issue, talks about it in terminology that I think is not so appealing to the broader audience. They just like kind of don't do a good job, in my opinion, of like communicating this to the broader masses. It's not about a payday. It's not about like, spreading the wealth or anything like that. It's quite literally about getting back, clawing back the value that you generated, because there's no value without labor. And part of the reason why they can't actually talk about it on such terms is because there is no Marxist analysis. There's no dialectical materialism. There's no labor theory of value. This is not something that is taught in schools. This is not even in our lexicon. It's not even in our culture in general. So people literally cannot communicate the appropriate reasons as to why this is just about fairness. They always end up using liberal-ass terminology for it, which, in my opinion, throws off a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's like, you're the reason. It's not about like whether you like a particular show or a particular actor. It has nothing to do with that. It's not subjective, right? It's not subjective at all. You're there. You're generating value for a movie. Your presence there is basically either, driving ticket sales or making this art work in a meaningful way. And you want more of the value to not go to the executives, to not go to studio executives and like random fucking shareholders, but back down to the people that are working there. That's it. That's it. That's how it works. Do you think people are really that dumb? I think most people understand they need more dollars to live. No, I don't think this is about stupidity or anything like that. I think this is exclusively about fairness. And when you communicate using like liberal terminology, like spread the wealth or whatever, even if it's progressive liberalism, it's still liberalism. Most people don't understand that. They go, spread the wealth. You already are wealthy. What the fuck? It's not. It's not about that. That's why I always advocate for LeBron James and players' unions in the NBA. That's why I always advocate for these like highly visible sectors that have labor unions, because most people look to that and go, what do you mean? I'm a fucking stevedore. I don't make that much money. Fuck you. Or I'm a plumber. I don't make that kind of money, and I'm doing like actual fucking menial labor. What do you mean? You want more money? Fuck you. The point is, they want more of the money that they are generating for the studios. That's it. Every sector should have a labor union. You are not asking for handouts. You are not asking for charity. You are not asking for more than you are given. You are demanding more of what you are giving to the studio bosses. That's it. I hear you, but you are wrong. Okay. Thanks. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? Exactly. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? That's the point. It's reductive, but it's one of the best ways to describe this situation.